Welcome to the Mr. Manhood podcast. In this episode, we'll be talking about the marathon of life. Well, before I get started, I definitely want to start this conversation off by simply saying thank you, Nipsey Hussle, for the slogan, the marathon. I think he had a very valid and great point when he said that this life thing that we're living through is a marathon. Now to the podcast. I definitely want to say that many of us are sprinting to try to catch someone else. Someone else got married already, or someone else already got a certain career goal that we were looking to be, or your good friend bought a home already, and you're still renting. Um, Understand that every individual is running their own marathon. Everyone, even twins born at the same time, are running their own marathon, just like two snowflakes are never the same. Something will be different. They may be similar. They may have similar races. You may have friends who you grew up with, and you guys may have similar races to run, but they won't be the same. And so, what do I mean when I say the marathon of life? Right? Every day you live is another day in your marathon. And you have your goals, you have things that you like to achieve, places you like to go, things you like to do, and that's all a marathon. While running your marathon, the goals that you typically set are your water and rest points. Right? When you achieve those goals, that's your time to stop for a second. Take a look at how far you came, where you used to be, who you used to be, and where you are now. You've achieved a certain goal in your life, or you've gotten that much further from the start line, the day you were born. Too many times we spend our time running the marathon and we never stop to look back at what we've achieved in our lives and how hard the journey was to get there or what we had to go through. We spend our time working hard, staying late at the office all day, all night long, and then when we actually do make a deadline or we do finally get that promotion, we are now bogged down with the work from that. So during that break, uh, take some time to admire the journey. To admire the marathon that you're running. But also, during that break, see if your path is still relevant to what you want to do, to the times that you're living in, right? Because the marathon that our parents are running is just not the same kind of marathon that we're running, right? Things are different now. Technology has changed almost all the aspects of our lives. And it's always a great idea to self reflect. Look on why you had a certain goal, and if you do finally achieve that goal, then look back over your life and say, is this the same path that I still want to stay on? And if so, then you continue on. But if not, there's nothing wrong with updating your past, your goals, and running a different race. Also, on that journey, on your during your race, you will meet people that will run certain legs of your marathon with you, right? Friends, loved ones, people who are going to be in your life for a week, a year, a month, a, a couple hours, but they'll be there to run alongside you during your marathon, during your race. to even help you get to certain parts or to certain goals that you definitely needed help with. But while they are there, don't ever forget that their marathon may be still different from yours. It's not the same, right? We don't just because you meet someone and certain parts of your lives are similar, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be with you for the rest of their lives. People are sometimes in your life for just a couple weeks, a few hours. Somebody you meet in the airport when you're ready to fly somewhere, right? And they give you a piece of information, and then you never see that person again in your life. But you do meet some people who decide to get married, and you guys share your guys' new marathon together. But even still, it's still your marathon and their marathon. And sometimes they're going to break away, and you come back together. But don't ever forget when that person splits and goes their way, don't take it personal. Just always understand that their marathon is still their marathon. Their lives, the reason why they do what they do, they have their reasons for it. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Sometimes our lives clash and our beliefs clash, and we take it personal as if it's a personal attack. Well, sometimes, most times, people believe and do what they feel is right just simply because of something that happened to them in their lives. Has nothing to do with you, but we're just different. And even the relationships that you have in your life, whether it be girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father, son, whoever, those are also mini marathons, mini sprints, right? Taking the time to actually know someone for who they really are. That's important, right? That's its own marathon by itself. Because it takes a long time to really get to know someone, because you do need to understand why they think what they think and what's happened to them, so they can understand, or so you can understand why they do what they do. So the marathon of life can be a lonely one, or can or you can meet the greatest people along your journey, but never forget that your race in your life is your race only. So while it's always good to have good friends, always keep in the back of your mind that sometimes people break off from running with you and they continue on their own path. And it's not personal. You have your race just like they have their race. And don't spend time trying to sprint to catch up to someone else's goals, right? Getting married, having a certain career goal, or buying that home that you guys talked about when you were 14. So you have your journey, they have their journey. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, this episode rather, and look for another one on Monday. Thank you.